call it the Texas killing fields, a stretch of land so ordinary it's almost invisible. But for nearly 50 years, it's been a graveyard for the forgotten. Girls vanish, bodies turn up, and every time, evil walks away untouched. Lawmen tried, families begged, suspects were caught, but justice never came. And those who've been there, they say something watches from the fields, something older than the killings. A curse, a spirit, or something worse. Something that just doesn't kill but invites others to do the same. Tonight, we follow the road to I-45, to the place where the earth itself seems to hunger. This is the killing fields of Texas, and something out there never stopped taking. The Texas killing fields aren't a single location. They're a 70-mile stretch of desolate land between Houston and Galveston, flanking Interstate 45. To the untrained eye, it's just overgrown marshes, oiled fields, and abandoned roads. But to locals, it's known as cursed land. The soil is soft, perfect for hiding bodies. The isolation, absolute. No cameras, no lights. Just wind, dirt, and the whisper of something ancient under your feet. Since the 1970s, over 30 young women and girls have vanished or have been found dead here. Some were last seen walking home. Others just disappeared. Most were under 25. Some were children. And disturbingly, many of them were dumped within a few miles of each other. The pattern was clear, but the killer never caught. Let's name a few because they deserve to be remembered. Colette Wilson, 13, vanished in 1971. Her skeleton was found 5 months later in an oil field. Rhonda Johnson and Sharon Shaw, both 14, found in 1972, stripped and dumped in a marsh. Their bodies were tied together. Laura Miller, 16, last seen in 1984 using a payphone. Her body was discovered in the exact same field where another girl had been found a year earlier. Crystal Jean Baker, 13, kidnapped in 1996. Her body was dumped along the highway. For years, her case went cold. They were daughters, sisters, friends. Some were seen in the daylight, others were last seen walking near police stations. It didn't matter. Something was always hunting. The investigations, a disaster. Evidence was mishandled. Jurisdictions fought over control. And worst of all, false confessions sent innocent men to prison. One suspect, Edward Harold Bell, wrote letters from jail claiming he killed 11 girls in the area, calling them his 11 that went to heaven. But the details were never fully matched. Then there was Clyde Hedrick, a convicted killer who lived near the fields for years. He was suspected in multiple disappearances, but kept slipping through the cracks. Both men are now dead, and the bodies still show up. Here's where the story gets darker. Locals started saying the area wasn't just cursed, it was alive. Hunters who entered the fields reported feeling watched. Psychics called in by families claimed they heard screaming underground. One investigator swore he saw a girl's figure in white walking through the reeds at night, only to vanish before his flashlight touched her. Even cadaver dogs have reportedly led handlers to spots that reeked of death, but when dug up, nothing was there. And then there's the birds. Whole flocks of them, crows mostly. sometimes circle areas where bodies are later found. Do they smell the decay early, or are they drawn by something else? Over the years, people began to notice patterns that did not feel natural. Bodies arranged facing the same direction, dates aligning with solstices or lunar cycles, trinkets left near the victims, objects no one could explain, a small silver bell, a melted candle, a black feather. Was it a ritual, a coincidence, or a message? Some theorists now believe that the killing fields have become a kind of beacon for violence, attracting predators and fueling madness, a place where evil echoes. And some whisper that there's a darkness buried there, something not human, not seen, but always listening. By the early 2000s, the town of League City, closest to the worst sites, was tired of the infamy. They built over some areas, turned others into housing developments. But no matter how much concrete they poured, the land still bleeds. New bodies still turn up near the edges. People still report screams in the night. And the silence around the cases, deafening. Some officers refuse to go back. Others develop nightmares. One reportedly left the force altogether after saying he saw her in the field, but she had no eyes. In 2019, a break came. DNA finally identified Crystal Jean Baker's killer, a man named Kevin Edison Smith. He was sentenced to life, but this solved just one murder. Over 20 remain cold, and in recent years, 2 more young women vanished within miles of the fields. And that's when the question started creeping in again. What if it's not one killer, not even a group, but something older, something that feeds on pain, and the fields are just its breeding ground? So here we are. The killing fields of Texas, 50 years of death, dozens of broken families, and a land that seems to refuse to forget. Some say it's just coincidence, a tragic mixture of opportunity and evil, but others, they swear the fields choose their victims, and that anyone who stands out there long enough feels it watching. If this story disturbs you, good, it should, because these girls never got their voices back, and the thing that took them, it might still be out there. Like, share, spread their names, and if you ever find yourself driving the I-45 corridor and you see the tall grass start to move without wind, don't stop, because some things in Texas are always hungry.